Good morning. I am once again bewildered by our medical society. You are not going to believe what changes they have in store for us on dialysis. So they are actually going to take away Alcavis, which is this. Apparently, you're not going to be able to purchase it anymore through your insurance, through Vantage, which was Baxter, which is what DaVita uses for your medical supplies. I don't even get it. Okay, so they've limited the gauze. The Alcavis is now no longer. They'll still send, I guess, E-Sept because you have to clean your port, which you need gauze for. But for the E-Sept, for the Alcavis, we no longer get it. It's just wild. So when you are first trained to do your dialysis, you use a piece of gauze. And if they're really crappy ones, you use several pieces of gauze. And you scrub your transfer set so that when you attach, everything is germ-free. Well, now they're like, well, you don't really need to do that. So we're going to take away the Alcavis, and you guys should be fine. Now, I really hope that if people get peritonitis, because our clothes still carries germs, the environment still carries germs, and your connecting piece will still have germiness to it. I hope they sue. I really do. I hope they sue this pants off of somebody, because that's ridiculous. Like, we're trying to live our best life, but we can't live our best life if our things that make us have a best life are taken away. It's just ridiculous. And then I thought of something else. So they take away your Alcavis, but I am supposed to soak the top of my heparin bottle with the Alcavis. And the top of the little insert, I guess you would call it. I don't know. It's like a little penis on the bag. And now what am I supposed to do? So I'm going to have to ask Deborah, what does that mean for those two things? Because those are not sterile. My heparin belongs in the fridge to keep it from creating bacteria. But that doesn't mean the top of it is not having bacteria. Plus, I multi-use it. So I probably get at least 2, maybe 3 days worth of heparin in one little vial. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what we're going to do about that. I haven't asked because it actually just dawned on me. So, I didn't think of it in time to ask her. So, I think I'll send her a text and ask her that way just to see, because it's just ridiculous. Like, I don't know. It's weird, too, because, you have to stay realistic in all of this. And I say that because it's really easy to get into, germophobia when you are starting dialysis, because you want to keep everything super, super clean and sterile and disinfected. And so, in the beginning, you had to scrub your connector before you attach to your bag for 2 minutes. Then I think you scrubbed and then wrapped it, something like that. And then you just wrapped it, and now you don't do any of it. It's chaos. I just don't understand it. It's just the money game that happens. And that's the gross reality of the whole thing, is that it's all about the money. It's all about who can charge who the most. And in fact, I went to the eye doctor yesterday and had my eyes checked for my annual exam to get contacts, which I usually wear. And it's still set up where you only get 6 months supply. And I asked the lab tech, I said, well, I think people with glasses should be able to bring theirs back in 6 months. And she's like, oh, really? Why? And I said, because I don't get to see for 6 months. Like, I get contacts for 6 months, but I don't get to see for the rest of the 6 months. And, you know, she was like, we're laughing about it because it is kind of funny. But at the same time, it's like, that's not really screwed up. Like, being able to see is mandatory. Like, you need to be able to see. It's not a luxury. Oh, my God. Anyways, but my eye doctor said that I had really good, healthy eyes. Like, she's like, yeah, you're doing good. And I barely changed in my vision. Like, I really didn't need to change my prescription, but she's like, it's just like point something, like 0.5. She's like, we'll just switch it just cause. But, you know, so it's just crazy because it's like the insurance covered, I think they had like 300. So they covered most of the contacts, but I had to pay extra for the eye exam. Like, it was weird. I don't know. I ended up paying another $100. Or my right eye is the one that really needs a thick prescription, where the other one is 20/20. So that one's pretty simple, but it still costs to make the contact. And then my right eye is like expensive. So I don't know. I have to look into that and see why it costs so much, because that's ridiculous too, especially because I have insurance. And why does it change every year? Like, just leave it alone. Leave it to be its thing, you know? So, I don't know. Frustrating. Very frustrating. But the cool thing is that yesterday it was so nice outside. I almost needed a sweatshirt going into the office because it was cold in there. But I was definitely chilly inside the office, and then outside it was so nice. But I did take Richie swimming because it was Monday, and it was funny because he kept remarking like, the water's so cold, and I'm like, yeah, because the day isn't hot, you know. So hopefully in the next couple of days it'll warm up where he'll feel better in the pool. But he did spend some time in the jacuzzi, more so than the pool, but at least he was able to play and get some of his energy out and stuff like that. So that was cool. Plus it was overcast yesterday, which was different. Today it's nice and sunny, but it's still a nice cool day outside. I don't think it's going to get past 85, which is fantastic. Like, the more we don't get to 100, the better off I feel. But again, it's that time of night where it's like, it's cooler outside than it is inside, so I'm glad that I have my window fan to pull in that night air. But around 9, 10, and 11, it's still kind of warm, so you don't really feel that cooled off. But I realized I need to rinse off in the shower, and then that cools me down, and then the air on me cools me down, and I got the best night of sleep last night. The night before, I think I went to sleep around 1, and I woke up at 5:30. Like, awake. That was Sunday. So I was up from 5:30 all the way till 11:30, I think, Sunday. And then Monday, I couldn't get to sleep till like 1-ish. Wait, last night was Monday night? Yeah, last night was Monday night. So last night, I fell asleep around 10 and feel so much. Like, I feel better, but I also feel sleepy still. Like, I feel like I could still sleep. I'm not sure why, because I had a really good, I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's a change of weather, or yesterday, because it was it was very cloudy yesterday, so I think maybe that made me feel sleepy in my head. I don't know. My daughter lives in Vancouver, Washington. And so one of the things that she said when she first moved to Seattle, Washington, was how cloudy it was and the rain and all of that. And she was just like, it's so frustrating because she felt so tired all the time. I think she's lived there now at least 5 years, maybe 6 or 7. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that she's acclimated pretty good. And I always buy her vitamin D vitamins so that she's keeping up on that, because they say that there. They say that a lot when it's a cloudy place, that you need to keep your vitamin D up. And she was born in Tucson, so she's used to the sun. And I feel like, as much as I want to move away in the summer, I feel like if I moved to a place that had a lot of cloudy days, I would be so depressed and so lazy. So I don't know. Maybe I would acclimate too. I guess I would have to, because nobody wants a sad sack around all the time. But I don't know. It's pretty interesting to think of where you live. And here, at least, maybe we flood. We have the extreme heat. But other than that, we don't have the blizzards and all the other stuff. We don't have the tsunami. We don't have, hurricanes. We don't have tornadoes. A dust devil now and again will kind of be crazy, but so it's cool. I mean, we live here. It is what it is. I would love to live someplace else, maybe one day. We'll see. So that's about it. I am disgusted with the medical world. I just don't understand why they would take Alcavis away. It doesn't make sense. Plus, when I get a transfer exchange, which means that they take my connector off, and we have to go like super sterile. Like, they have to wear these special gloves. They have to have these mats on me. They have to have, like, I can lift my old catheter and then I have to lay it down and not touch anything. I flip over the timer because they have to be strategic on that. Maybe they just end up using bleach water. That's what they want to do. Maybe that's what they end up doing for that. I don't know, because they soak the new one to go on so that I'm not infected, even though it was in a sterile package. Like, it's serious crap. Like, they take these scissors that look like, well, they look like scissors, so they freak you out because you think they're going to cut your tube, but they don't. But they keep anything from going in case something happens, because they're literally taking off, disconnecting you and taking that connector off and putting a brand new one on. But still, like, that's flinging the door open, saying, okay, germs, bacteria, here we are. So I don't know what they're going to do. It's just sad, because DaVita themselves was trying to order the Alcavis just to have on stock, and Vantage was like, no, we're going to finish what we have, and then, that's it. And it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just disgusting. Anyways, such is life. We must move forward. When I have more answers, I'll let you know. Have a good day. Drink your water. Bye-bye.